guys, welcome back into another video, and today's another movie review. And I mean, this one really I don't think is even worth my time to review, and I'm doing it at 11 o'clock at night and I have to go to work tomorrow, but I'm doing it anyway for you guys because I love you guys and you guys are the best. Today we are reviewing The Death on the Nile. Death on the Nile, Death in the Nile, Death on the Nile. The follow-up to Murder on the Orient Express, which, sorry, guilty as charged, I have not seen, but I knew the concept, I knew what it was about, so there you go. But before we get into the review, the first thing I want to say is we are less than 15 subscribers away. It's crazy for me to even say this, but it's true. We are less than 15 subscribers away from 1,000 subscribers. I didn't think we'd get here this quick, and I want to get here as fast as possible. So if you have not already, please, I'm begging, I'm imploring, please go hit that big red button and subscribe. You could very well be the 1,000th subscriber, and that would mean the absolute world to me. Just all my friends have gotten there. Everyone I know that I'm friends with on YouTube has gotten to 1,000 subscribers, and I've been doing it longer than them, but they've all gotten there, and I feel like I'm the last person to not get there. So, and not even just for that, but just I've been doing this for 7 years, and I've been working my ass off. This is not a full-time job for me. I have a full-time job, which is actually on YouTube, but this is like my passion project, and to get there would mean the absolute world. So I really do appreciate it if you consider hitting that big red button and subscribing. Yeah, it's just crazy to think about that we're so close. I really do appreciate you guys. I really do. But let's get into the review. I'm getting delirious and tired, and I need to go to bed. So let's just get into the review. It's not a great movie. This is not that great of a movie. You guys will see it in my score. And like I said at the beginning of the year, I retooled my movie rating system to where I'm harsher on films. So you're going to see a trend where I'm giving lower scores to films that I may have given a higher score to last year or the year before, because I am being more critical about the films that I see. And this is, I think, one of the key examples, because there is some good elements here that I respected and enjoyed. And the first is Kenneth Branagh. I really like his performance as Poirot. I think he's really good. He brings a very different layers of emotion throughout, and while he can be kind of kooky and crazy at times, which I didn't always love, as a detective, as the character, I think he was really good. And then a special shout out to Emma Mackey, who gives probably the best performance of the film. I think she is great. She is devious and mischievous while also showing different layers of emotion. She was really, really good. And I had to give hats off to her because she was like the best performance in the film. There's not a lot of really good performances in the film at all. So a lot of respect to her. You're going to see that a majority of my problems here is with the writing. But I will give props to the writing of Poirot's arc in his backstory. And we get a nice kind of look at the character, who he is, why he is the way he is, how he ticks. And we go through a bit of an emotional journey with him throughout this film. This film is not just about the murders on the Nile and who did it and who done it. It really is an exploration into Poirot as a person, not just as the greatest detective, but as the person. I really did like that. It did bring some nice moments of emotion, which is my next point. There were some nice moments of emotion that I could attach to, that I did enjoy, that I did respect. And I had to give some respect and some props and a shout out to that writing, because I did think it was effective and I did think it was well. There are some twists in here that I liked, that I wasn't expecting. I think a lot of the writing is highly predictable, and that's part of the negative. But there was. The third act, when it kicked up a notch, like 15 notches actually, but when it got kicked up a notch, it was effective. And I was like, all right, here we go. This is it. This is the third act. We're getting into it. Let's see what's going down. And I enjoyed that. And I liked that. But in the end, I was left incredibly disappointed. I didn't really go in with high expectations. I don't want to say that my expectations were like ruined, but they definitely were not met. And I do think that they were lower than I had hoped. This film's too cheesy. And again, I haven't seen Murder on the Orient Express, so I don't know if this is just how the characters act, if this is how it is. I know people are going to continue to meme the enough champagne to fill the Nile line. That is a highly memeable line. It is in the trailers. I've seen that there's been some theater reactions to that line on Twitter, but it is bad. It is bad. And there are multiple instances like that of dialogue and writing that just took me out of the film. It took me out of the film. This film has an identity crisis. Is it supposed to be comedic? Is it supposed to be serious? Is it the serious whodunit, or is it just full of comedy? There is an identity crisis here. It was written extremely poorly. I did not like how it was executed. It was too cheesy and just not... obviously didn't come in prepared for the tone, because the tone was not what I thought it was going to be, and that took me out of the story. It really, really did. Stale performances as well plague the story. I don't know what it is with me and Gal Gadot. I think that she is in some really great stuff, and I think that she has some pretty good performances, but as of late, I have not enjoyed her in anything she's been in. I didn't like her in Red Notice. I don't like her here. I think her performance is really stale, and that is kind of said about a lot of the performances in here. I think they're really stale and kind of hollow, and that's not in a film where you're trying to figure out who of these eclectic bunch of people are the killer. Who did it? The thing that works so well with like a Knives Out is that the characters are written so well, they're so layered, and they're so eclectic and kind of witty and weird, where The Death on the Nile tries to do that, but it over cheeses. You know, the comedy doesn't hit. It's not smart. It's not witty. And the performances leave nothing to be desired. There's no emotional attachment. There's nothing. The two good ones are Kenneth Branagh and Emma Mackey. I mean, they are really the kind of the cornerstones of this. And Emma Mackey, she's like not really in this film a lot, which sucks because she is really good. The other performances are extremely stale and hard to latch onto. And we see those people a lot, and that just kind of left a lot to be desired. This film is horribly paced. The first half of this film, it's only a 2-hour film. The first half felt like 4 hours. It took forever. We don't get into the whodunitness of it for the first like hour and 15 of a 2-hour runtime. Let's kind of get with it. Let's up the pace. Let's get going. Let's get it going. But that just doesn't happen here, and we're left with an incredibly poorly paced kind of drag of time. I felt like I had to pull the story. I'm like, let's go. Come on. Let's get with it. Again, when we get into the third act and it kicks it up a notch, it's good. I enjoyed it, but it took so long. It was like grinding my teeth. I'm like, come on, let's go. Let's hurry up. The pacing is extremely, extremely poor. And the writing is incredibly predictable. And you'll see this from any critic for the next week that talks about this film. The writing is incredibly predictable. It's not great. And I also didn't put this in my notes. The ending is incredibly abrupt and doesn't leave you any, doesn't give you any kind of conclusion. That's all I'm going to say without spoiling the ending. Because if you want to go watch this movie, and I know that there are people that like this stuff, if you want to go watch this, I don't want to spoil it for you. I want you to experience it the way that it is written. But the ending is pretty abrupt. I didn't love that. I feel like the writing is very poor here. I think it has its moments, and I think it is on the edge of being good. I think I can feel the potential, but the potential is wasted. It is wasted. And I wish I could say it was better than it is, but I left with a sour taste in my mouth, and in the end just didn't really love what happened here. That's all I really have to say. We'll get into the point breakdown. It's disappointing because I wanted my expectations to be exceeded. I wanted to like it more than I did, and I just couldn't. I could not like it. I gave writing 10 out of 15 because I don't want to completely blame the film on the writing. Like, there's potential there. It just didn't meet its full potential. Performances, 7 out of 10. 2 good performances that bumped it up like 2 points. The rest kill it. Or no, it went down a point. No, sorry. Entertainment, 7 out of 10. It drags. When we get into the third act, it's pretty entertaining, but that's kind of as far as I would say. Direction, 7 out of 10. I think the direction from Kenneth Branagh is fine. I don't think it's anything revolutionary. It's not like anything. We've seen this before. Emotion, 6 out of 10. It is what it is. Cinematography, 3 out of 5. Score, 3 out of 5. I didn't really notice the score. Pacing, 2 out of 5. Extremely poorly paced film. Technical, which is composed of editing, sound, set design, costume design, and visual effects, I gave it 10 out of 15. Everything was just average across the board. It's nothing incredible. Rewatchability, 3 out of 5, and non-automatic, 5 out of 5 points. It means if you did the math, I gave Death on the Nile a 63 out of 100. Like I said, that may be kind of jarring to you if you've been following my channel for a while. But remember, I retooled my ranking system at the beginning of the year. And I did that specifically to be harsher on films because I was overrating too many films. I was giving too many films 4.5 or 5 out of 5 stars, and I cannot be doing that. I need to be more critical and dive deeper into the art of the film itself than just whether or not I liked it. So that may be a little bit jarring. I will also say I gave Moonfall a 58 out of 100 last week. So this is not even the worst film I've seen this year. So just buckle, in the words of Mr. Spacefield himself, buckle up, because there's a new sheriff in town and a new rating system in town. So I know that that's kind of jarring. I think it's an average film. 50 out of 100 is average. So to give it a 63 means it is just above average of a film. That's kind of how I'm looking at it now. So take that how you will. But I want to thank you all so much for watching this video today. Go down below in the comments. Let me know, what did you think of Death on the Nile? Did you like it? Hey, let me know why. I'd love to have the conversation. Let me know why. You may be able to sway me. But thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate you taking the time to click on the video. It does mean the absolute world. Have a good rest of your day. I'll see you in the next video.